Hello again. Lovely day for an afternoon ride out of the village. It's the old bloke. I got the camera on the helmet this time for a change. I've tried it all over on the bike. Anyway, I'm going the back way out of the village, the long way round. And here we are in lovely Port Macquarie, the mid-north coast of New South Wales. So heading up to the end here, and then we hang a sharp right up by the village ponds. Nice and quiet up here, no traffic. Fairly good surface. It's good to get out on a day like this and enjoy the good conditions. A bit of paddling does you no harm whatsoever. So this is the last street in the village, and then we eventually go out at the top end, which comes into Lincoln Road at the gate. It's a nice retirement village with a variety of houses. Fairly level up to this point, so paddling's pretty easy. Starts to rise up a bit just out of the village here, up towards the gate, and into Lincoln Road. This is the original older part of the village at this end. Village office on the left, letterboxes on the right. Beautiful blue sky, not a cloud in sight. Shade of the palm trees. And into Lincoln Road, and we've got a slight uphill here, so I might have to stand on the pedals a bit halfway up. The old Fuji bike goes well. It's a wonder it's still intact, because I've fallen off a few times or been knocked off. Just about the top here. Having a look round to see if any following traffic. And then we turn into Sherwood Road, which goes down to the Oxley Highway, which comes out of Port Macquarie and goes west to the Pacific Highway. Having a look around again. You always need to check if turning, if someone's behind you. Slightly downhill here, so we can get a little speed up, and then we hang a left here into Tulloch Road, which is the approach to the racecourse. And we're going through the racecourse to avoid the highway on the right. This is much safer. On the highway there is not much of a margin for bikes on the road at the side. House with small stables on the side for race horses. And we're going uphill again here. We're now inside the racecourse precincts. And there's the racecourse over in the left. And we've got a nice downhill here and get a great speed up, which will take us up the little rise on the other end, which comes up behind the racecourse stand. Just a little zip up here. Few traffic bumps. Stand on the left, and then we come out into the big racecourse car park, which takes us back down to the highway again. So there's the track on the left there going off into the distance there. Another car park on the left. So you can see we've avoided all the traffic up to this point. Just on the end here we turn up into the highway for a short distance. Just got to watch here for traffic zipping down the road and try and get into the traffic lane, making sure it's clear. At the roundabout we hang a left again into Clifton Road, for a short distance, and then we turn left here into Lady Nelson Drive. As I've said before, all the streets on this end of the racecourse have a nautical sound. So it's a slight downhill here, which gets a bit rough in the middle down here. End of the racecourse track on the left. This road is called the Jib. And now we turn into the road called the Boom. Very little traffic about today. So it's a great day for a ride, enjoyable. At the intersection at the end, the road to the right is called the Bulkhead up the hill, and the bottom part is called the Binnacle. This is a fairly fast run down here, down into the Binnacle. Sometimes along here you get some big kangaroos sitting on the side of the road. So you just got to watch those in case they jump out. Just on the end here we turn, and then when we've turned, the first street on the right is called the Genoa Close, and the next one after that is called Reef Crescent. The Binnacle is a dead end, so I've got to do a U-turn on the end and come back, just checking. U-turn here, and wind up again, get some more speed up. Okay, I know it's a bit naughty, but I tagged another video from another day onto the first one. So this is coming back, heading for the Binnacle again. And then, after the Binnacle, I do an extra lap on there. Then I come back and go into Hastings River Drive. It's just a way of extending the video to make it a little bit longer and maybe add a little interest. So now once again we're going back on the Binnacle at a fairly zipping speed. We'll go on to the end again to the cul-de-sac and do the U-turn, come back. It's all part of the training ride to get a few kilometres in as I go around various parts of the town. When one is retired and gets to 70 odd, need to keep fit. This is my way of keeping fit. And I reckon it's the best thing I ever did was to get a bike when I retired from working life. Back in England I used to ride fast motorbikes, and now in retirement I've graduated to push bikes, which seems a bit strange, but motorbikes don't necessarily keep you fit. So here we are at the cul-de-sac of the Binnacle, once more doing our U-turn and getting up to speed again to go back. On this day again, the sky is perfectly clear, not a cloud in sight, and quite warm. Lots of little areas of bush around Port Macquarie. So I'm heading up the straight here, getting up to speed. Quite shady in places, which is okay as long as there aren't potholes. You might miss a pothole. It's quite easy riding, relatively level, and not necessarily the best of training. You need to get some hills to train properly. But these are just the easy days. There's nothing like a few hills to get you fit.
You watching?
There's a little kid coming out, pushing his luck. I've done some quite wrong rides in the past, and on 3 occasions I entered in the Grafton Inverell annual race when I was 70 years old, and on 2 consecutive years I did the distance of 228 kilometres. Unfortunately I got there outside the cut-off time, but at least I did the distance, which made me quite happy and very tired. So it's no problem riding on these roads. Nice surface, not much traffic. So this is the last lap on here before I head out onto Hastings River Drive, which is the main drag to the old highway out of Port Macquarie. Standing on the pedals. got the volume down a bit on the road noise and the bike noise. Otherwise that interferes with the commentary. It's taken me quite a while to get the hang of these video editing things. As I was brought up in an era of steam radio, when computers were unheard of. So it's been a steep learning curve getting familiar with computers and things. Anyway, when we get on the end of here, we come to Kemp Street. Oh, wait a minute. I was wrong there. I've got another lap. Silly me. Anyway, not to worry. It's all kilometres and does you the world of good. To train properly, you've got to keep pedalling, not much freewheeling. As Graham Sears, the Olympic cyclist, once told me, if you're freewheeling, you might as well stay at home in the chair. Anyway, it's nice to be out and feel the wind on your face and on your arms. There's nothing quite like the freedom that the bike seems to give you. And of course you don't have the cost of fuel, as you do with the motorbike. I suppose it gets a bit boring doing these laps from a viewer's point of view. Anyway, we're getting along nicely. It will be a fairly long ride before I finish the actual ride, but the video doesn't go to the end of the ride. So here we are again, coming back to the end of the binnacle. Now we can hang a left and head up Kemp Street, just passing this guy here. We'll come out into the Hastings River Drive, which is quite busy at times. Just slip round the corner at the end. And then we'll be heading west again. Here we go. Left and right quick. And left again. We're in the main road. Got a bicycle way here, and just before it, the roundabout on here was completed. I was going on here and a four-wheel drive knocked me off the bike, and I did a somersault and had 15 stitches in the arm. And actually rode home before I went to hospital to get the stitches, which wasn't really fun at the time. Anyway, we're nearing the end of the video now, so hope you found it interesting, viewers, and have a look at my other videos and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.